My word, we snatched that win. We absolutely snatched that win from underneath Burnley's hands. But at the end of the day, it is a results business. Listen, there's been many a time as a West Ham fan that we've watched terrible performances. There's been many a time as a West Ham fan we've watched terrible performances from the opposition who come to West Ham, play crap and win a game. There's been many a time as a West Ham fan we've seen West Ham travel to these clubs, play crap and win a game. They're few and far between. Today was a prime example of a shithouse victory. We did not perform. We didn't play to the highest of standards. But one thing we didn't do was give up. One thing we did not do was give up. And that's what led to victory. That's what pushed West Ham to 20 points in the Premier League. 20 points in the Premier League. It's a ridiculous feat. 9 points. It's a ridiculous situation to be in because you've got part of the fan base complaining at the style of play and then part of the fan base delighted at the victory no matter what. No matter if we play well or we don't. I think every fan wants West Ham to play well and win games. But we've won a game. We've won the game. We're on the back of 2 back-to-back Premier League victories, albeit you can say it's against Nottingham Forest, albeit you can say it's against bottom of the league against Burnley. I put a tweet earlier on and I said, shithouse of victory. Years, the old West Ham would have been beaten in that game. But it's true. The old West Ham fan and the old West Ham team would have been beaten in that game. Because Burnley, at occasions, did play well. They didn't play fantastic football. I think there's an over-exaggeration on the style of play that they played. They did try and come at West Ham a couple of times. West Ham forced them into a lot of errors. But the old West Ham get beaten in that game. No matter what anyone says, just look at the fixtures of the past and just look at the particular games of the past and what those results led to. And for me, it's about never say die, never give up, go to the end, go to the final whistle. West Ham have gone 1-0 down and left it late to turn over a defeat into a victory. We shithoused it, but we've done it. We've done it. And that's the key part for me. That is the key part for me. Listen, I want to see better style of football. Of course I do. But at the end of the day, if that detriments where West Ham pushing up the league, doing reasonably well in Europe, then right now, I'll accept what's going on. One thing I will say is hats off to Mbama. My word, Mbama came off the bench and he stretched their defence. He caused them problems all day. He showed the intensity level. He showed the pace, the passion, and East End boy playing for his home club. He showed what it's like to be given the chance to come up through the ranks. And albeit the Premier League will probably end up taking that goal off Mbama, he really, really gave David Moyes something to think about. He really did. Off the ball, he was chasing down the keeper. He was chasing down the defenders. He was forcing the players to play the ball long. When in the first 70 minutes, when Burnley were playing on the up, we were forcing them to play the ball to each other. And we weren't really pressing too hard. But the minute Mbama came on the park, it gave a new lease of life to Kudos. It gave a new lease of life to JWP. It gave a new lease of life to Tommy Soucek. A new lease of life to Lucas Paqueta. What it did was it forced Burnley to go long. And they couldn't do anything with the ball. Kicking the ball out of the park and allowing West Ham to play. We're seeing right now a sporadic difference between West Ham playing. We're seeing a West Ham that play well in the first half, one game. We're seeing West Ham play well in a second half in another game. We're seeing West Ham go through spells of 10 minutes here, there and everywhere. And today was really about the last 20 minutes. And that's where we turned over Burnley. Whether you like it or not, it's a results business. You've got to get the job done. And the job done is by winning a game. The job done is by turning up, not playing well, and winning a game. Long may it continue. Nobody should remotely consider that we want to lose. I'm not saying you do if you are watching. I'm not saying it was fantastic football. I get why people would be frustrated at the style of football. But for me, I'll take a win when we can, especially if we play as crap as we did today. Come on, you Irons.